The people of Tatitlek, the Sugbeck people, have been in this area for over 5,000 years, and they have a deep connection to this land and to be stewards of this land and to protect it.
We were fairly nomadic, following the fish and all the wonderful resources that have sustained our people for thousands of years. But when there was discovery of copper back in the turn of the century, the village was located in Elamar, and so they wanted to dig the glory hole to extract those minerals. So they relocated the village.
There was a group of people that claimed mining rights to that area. And what that did was that gave them a piece of paper claiming that land. And they told everybody there that lived there, all of our families, that they had to move because they now owned that land. And so the whole community moved south to what is now currently known as Tatitlek.
I'm from here. I was born just right there, you know. We had a lot of clams back then, so we ate a lot of clams, you know, along the beaches. And we went and hunted the seals and sea lion, bears, and just about anything we could, you know. We just grew up with it.
My mom grew up in that lifestyle, living off the land. No stores here. This is the grocery store. They struggled a lot. They were hungry a lot. They worked hard. They had to pack water. They had to cut wood, you know, live off the land, and that's difficult.
We spend a lot of time on the beach here sawing logs, you know, with hand saws, you know. We didn't have any mechanical stuff then, you know, and we'd go tow the trees here and saw them, you know. Life is a lot easier today than it was back then. There just wasn't the resources, the food, you know.
Well, there was 10 of us in our house, and mainly grew up on a subsistence lifestyle. My dad was a commercial fisherman, and I started fishing with him when I was 12. I actually got paid $20 per season. But yeah, we grew up on a subsistence lifestyle mainly. Here, you only went to school up to the 8th grade when I was growing up. From then, you had to go out to boarding schools. The cultural change was pretty rough.
The 1964 earthquake was such a traumatic time for our families. At the time, my mother's family was from Chiniga. Their whole community was wiped out. It was completely destroyed and washed away by the tsunami.
I was 18 years old, you know. I was in Chiniga. I saw it wash away, you know. At first, we didn't think much of it, but it started getting stronger and stronger, and things start falling down. Pretty soon, the boats drifted away, and this bay just dried up and came back with a huge tidal wave, you know, and just washed the village completely away, and several people, you know. It was a sad, sad time.
I was 9 years old. I was taking a nap up our stairs in the same little house over here. It shook for 5.5 minutes or 5 minutes around there, and we start running down this lower road. We got called back up by my mom to go on the upper road. And we got up here. There was an old church in front of this one where the church bell was ringing. It was shaking so hard. And I just remember people going in and praying. They had a direct line. There was no preacher or anybody there. And right after that, shoveled a path up the hill and had 3 big tents. We spent 3 nights up there. 5 minutes it was shaking, 5.5 maybe.
When the Exxon oil spill happened in 1989, I was 8 years old. And I remember the look on my dad's face when he was talking about it. It was just so somber and serious, watching the news. And I didn't really understand what was going on, but I knew it was serious.
That day will be burned in my memory as such a devastating day because we lived off the land. And this happened 3 miles from the village. Gary Komkoff, he was the chief at the time. He worked hard to protect the community.
We were right over here fishing, and we pulled into my friend's place, and he said, "Did you hear the tanker went aground?" And so we headed for town, you know, and we knew that they were going to need help, you know. We saw it when it was just coming out of the tanker, like you wouldn't believe how much oil was coming out. It was a big mess, you know. They didn't trust the fish to be clean enough to eat, you know, and all kinds of rumors, and it really was devastating to the commercial fishing for a while.
The biggest impact would be years after the collapse of the herring. And we know that once the herring come in, it brings all other kinds of stuff like seals and ducks. After that collapse, we didn't know what they were eating, so it affected this community pretty hard. Those are two events that nobody should go through. They'll stick with me for the rest of my life. But the people of this village and Geneva people, strong people, survived it.
We had some good leaders. We still do. The natives of the Sound were pretty resilient, you know. They went through a lot.
Thinking about all of the events that led them here, Angsa, the '64 earthquake, the relocation from Elmar, I wish they could see what they built, what we are today. And I hope they're happy. I hope they're proud.